My name is Destiny Takon. I practice law. I'm also the president of United Non-Indian Development Association of Lagos State and the vice president of Aqua Cross. And then for today's event, a member of CMC, Colonel Lodofia, invited me here for this event, and I had asked my eldest daughter to come with me. And the twist I'm taking about this is that I got here and I discovered, oh, it's the same wedding I attended in church. This is the wedding Colonel invited me. And like the father of the groom, it's so ironic that I also stand in the capacity of adopted father to both the groom and the bride. Colonel doesn't know that. Because indeed, long before they decided to get married, the bride had brought the groom. Oh, no more bride and groom. They're husband and wife now. Sorry, forgive me. She had brought him to my house to introduce him and say, "Daddy, this is the young man I've given my heart to." So I was at the church wedding, and then when I turned up here, I said, "Oh, this is the same venue where Colonel asked me to be." And then I saw the Nollywood actors coming in. I was like, "Hello." Oh, it's the same event. So you can see on all sides it's my event. So it's such a great day to see young people like this. I mean, having known both of them even before today, get married. The day they came, I prayed for them. And I'm very excited that prayer has come to fruition. God has perfected it. And indeed, it's just the grand beginning of higher heights. It will be a blissful marriage. It will be a fruitful marriage. It will be a long-lasting marriage until Jesus comes. Thank you so much for having me. Okay, I've been in marriage for 25 years. And I can say, but the thing is, what works for one may not work for the other in marriage. But more importantly, they should tread their own path. Not the path of mommy or daddy or any advisor, because at the end of the day, my father used to say marriage is like a couple on a boat ride, or a canoe ride, both of them paddling the canoe. They need boats, all four hands have to be on deck, for them to paddle that canoe, to the shore or to their destination. And so what that means is that at the end of the day, when the chips are down, it will take two of you to resolve it. No matter what mommy or daddy says or what the world says, listen to yourselves, get to understand your partner, and understand that nobody is perfect. You're not the husband is not perfect, neither is the wife. So you must understand and tolerate. As a matter of fact, they have to develop a spirit of tolerance for each other. The thing is that you must make up your mind that I'm married, and this is my marriage, this is my life, and it must work. They have to make their marriage work. And of course, making work means having to take in their individual weaknesses, as I said, and build on their strength, areas of strength, and most importantly, always turn to God. Love is good in marriage, but you see, when you're in marriage with God as your lead, your guide, you will not, the mistakes you would have made as man and woman, God will help you, God will strengthen you. So they should hold hands and pray. They should always have agreement, like the Bible says. You two or more should agree. And it is stronger in marriage, where a husband and a wife agree. That home is impregnable. That home will be very, very strong. And so will their children be. Before that, we had made sure that all of our members across board got their PVCs. Because you can adopt the Part C, and without the PVC, the adoption goes to nothing. So what we've done, we made sure our members registered. And then secondly, we are not adopting any party as we speak. But we're advising our members to vote for the best candidate. But in so doing too, we are also watching out for what is good for us. My associations, now when I say that is Unida and the Aqua Cross, are interest groups. You know, we are here, we are partners in progress with the government of Lagos, government and people of Lagos State. And then what I mean as partners, it means we would also want to ensure that, you know, one of the things I've not mentioned that I've had to say at meetings with even officials of Lagos State is the fact that the non-indigenous, it's a truth, constitute nothing less than 60% of the population of Lagos State, which also translates to the voting strength in Lagos State. That makes us the kingmakers. There's nothing anybody can do about that. And because we're the kingmakers, we can sway any election indeed, given the integrity of elections that we're beginning to witness. And so, being a pressure group, as I said, we're also interested in those who would not just treat us as kingmakers who can enter the palace, but as partners in progress. So any party, I repeat, any party that would treat us as partners in progress for the development, the peace, the unity and good of Lagos State, they might have an edge. Thank you.
Your associations, as you have said, you are a capacity to 2 associations as it is and as it were. What legal actions do you feel that your associations now have been taking towards making sure that your associations are well represented when it comes to the next general election?
Okay, well, like
the PVC, what political actions that, when I mean well represented, do you people have people in your association that are probably going for political posts, probably not in Lagos or probably in Akwa Ibom, that you would like to endorse?
Well, he just hit at one of the cardinal things. When I talked about partners in progress, as that was a bit latent, but now that you've asked that question, I like to, adumbrate on it. Now, I take Lagos for instance. There are areas where non-indigenous dominate. Agege, you have the Ariwa people there. Isolo, you have Maibo people. Amodofin, and such areas. Now, since we dominate there, I mean, we are the larger population, far larger population. It would be inappropriate, you'd agree, to bring somebody from outside of us, to represent us there. And so, as partners in progress, as I said, we look forward to the, Lagos State government ensuring that we have preference in such areas. We have priority in such areas. And of course, you have about 3 commissioners now who are non-indigenous. One of the questions we, the non-indigenous mainstream association, non-indigenous have asked is, did they come from us? We want commissioners chosen from amongst us. If they want names for commissionership, we'll give them names. People who owe allegiance to us, who will turn back to us, who will represent us. That's exactly what I mean, out there. And you may also ask, if we are kingmakers, why only 3 commissioners? We could have more, couldn't we? And a lot more other areas. In the local government areas, you have positions like supervisory councillors and all of that. And as we have our people cut across all of the LCDs and local governments in Lagos, we expect such representation, because in all of these LCAs and LGAs, indeed, we have the voting strength, we contribute to it. And so we expect that we would be recognized. We want recognition. We have chosen to call ourselves non-indigenous because we know we are Lagosians and partners, in the progress of Lagos State, but we know we are non-indigenous. And one of the things we have always asked, somebody from Ekiti, from Ondo, from Oyo, from Oshun, can be just about anything here. Why not the non-indigenous? We are all Lagosians, isn't it? Don't be afraid. We don't want to be governor, but we want to be fairly represented and recognized. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, what I would say is, so the event we are having today is marriage. Now, at the core of that is love. If they didn't love each other, they will not agree to get married. That is basic. So it's fundamental for them to remember that love brought them together, and they have to hold love tight, put love in the midst of whatever they do. Now, I normally say there's no perfect human being anywhere. So even when you love each other and you get married and all that, it doesn't mean that both of you are perfect, it means that you saw something in each other that attracted you to each other and you want to get married. But again, nobody should insist on perfection because there's no perfect human being anywhere. Especially because both of you grew apart. You know, you came from different homes, different backgrounds. Now you met each other, you want to marry. Do not expect, so you will see some differences in your couple, in your better half. So what advice I have is that love that brought you together, that was the attraction that brought you together, maintain it, you know, as the core of your marriage. That's what I believe.
Okay, so going straight into the political scene, what advice or what things do you think the entertainment industry would do to make sure that a well-deserved president emerges when it comes to the 2023 general election?
Well, it's a good question you asked me. I'm someone who believes that we have a lot of potential in this country. When we talk about what people are doing abroad and all of that, how people are doing exploits in different fields of life, it aches me to see how much potential we have in our environment, but we do not have people really making it and doing well in life. And the core is leadership. So we have another chance, that's what I would say. There's a lot going around, you know, there's something about, again, I will say this before I move on, that Nollywood, for instance, you would not find people having a common ground because each person have individual different desires. We have our choices, but I want Nollywood people to remember, because we are influencers, we are influential people. We have where our voices can be heard easily, and we can even tilt how votes will go. So what I will advise actors, Nollywood people generally, is that accentuate those things that are good, that we need in our leadership. Things that will make people have a better life. I mean, we know that we can do more in this country. In every field, we can do more. But if the leadership is right, hey, we will do more. So I would just say, Nollywood people, there's a lot of partisan politics. I mean, everybody's saying, I want this, I want this. But again, I say, we all have our choices to make. And sometimes I say, you don't know what somebody has done for somebody, and it's payback time. So they want to now support that person now. But I want them not to lose something. We have voices. Let them help people to make better choices when they want to vote. Accentuate those things that we need in our leadership, that will move Nigeria forward and move Nigerians forward. That's what I would say. I tell people, so this industry, I know a lot of people they will just come into Nollywood thinking that it's just an easy thing, just come around and you just act. Acting is an art. It is backed by knowledge. Everything you do as an actor, as a producer, as a director, there is a knowledge base that you need to do it. So what has gotten us where we are, which we are celebrating now, the improvement we're seeing, is knowledge. There's an increase of knowledge, and people are going for knowledge as a backup for what they do. They don't just want to be they don't just want to aspire to be a director, an actor, or whatever, without having the requisite knowledge needed for it. So what I would say to your question is, or what I would say to what you asked me is, let's continue to respect the place of knowledge in the industry. Whoever is coming into the industry, you have seen the level where there's a standard right now. I mean, in fact, the standard is so high. And I would say it's just about knowledge. Then again, I tell people that knowledge can be gotten informally or formally. It's not everybody that have the money to go to schools, but you can get this thing informally if you are really serious about it. Research. Go on Google, research, read, get knowledge. For everything you want to do, there's a knowledge base for it that will power what you do, and you do it better. And that's what will keep moving us forward. More knowledge, content in what we do, more understanding of what we do. Is an art that has, you know,